Take a look at this proof gold in front of me. Hey everyone, it's RobFindsTreasure. Welcome back to my channel. Recently, I had the privilege of meeting up with Larry over at Stack's Bowers Galleries to take a look at some really rare coins, some cool coins, some great coin collections and things like that. And I had a lot of fun and figured while I was there, why don't I go ahead and film some of these collections and some of these coins with you guys and share them with you so you can take a look at them and appreciate them for what they're worth, and as well as share kind of along the journey with me. That being said, I want to make sure that if you guys are interested in checking out Stack's Bowers Gallery's YouTube channel, they're kind of new to YouTube, I'll have their YouTube channel link pinned both down below in the video description, and I'll even put a quick link up here. Again, if you could check them out and give them support, that'd be awesome. They did go ahead and allow me to film these coins prior to them being auctioned off in their spring auction. For today's segment, I wanted to go ahead and show you what $1 million in gold looks like, and it's not a lot of pieces, it's just a handful of pieces, but these are some of the nicest proof gold coins you'll ever see. That's all I want to say. I've talked long enough. We don't want to sit here and watch me talk. Let's take a look at some of these beautiful proof gold coins. Now, I know the title said probably over $1 million, but definitely over $1 million in at least value. Obviously, a realized sale could far exceed $1 million, but in what these coins have recently been valued at, we have over $1 million in gold on the table. And I know a lot of you are probably wondering how. It's just a few gold coins. Well, take a look at some of the grades on here. And these grades are not easy to come by, especially on coins struck 150 years ago with Cameo and our proof. Can't get mad at that. Now, I'm not doing this all on my own. I do have Larry here with Stack's Bowers Galleries. And Larry, I don't proclaim myself to be an expert when it comes to proof gold from post-Civil War times. But that being said, why are these valued so high?
You know, proof gold is often called the caviar of U.S. numismatics. It's like the big boy coins, if you will. For example, the coin you're looking at right now, a $10 1886 proof eagle. They had an original mintage of 60.
60?
60. So that is all in original mintage of proof of 60. Now, then you go ask yourself, okay, how many of those actually survived? Well, it's a proof coin, so probably most of them, because they were made, you know, specialty for collectors.
No one's melting these down into bullets?
Let's hope not. I'm sure maybe one of them got melted down, but like, let's assume that at least half survived. So you're talking, there's at least maybe 30, maybe 40 of these in existence.
And they're going to be high grade if they're in existence, I would imagine,
Correct.
Right?
I'm sure there's one or two that probably got beat up or like hairline rubbed up in the cabinet, or someone like paid a little too much love to when they were looking at.
Yep.
But in general, to see them at that level of preservation is unheard of. These are top pops.
Now, what does the Simpson designation on here mean?
So Bob Simpson was a very famous numismatist who had an incredible collection of coins. And so that is just pedigreed back to him, and just testament that it has a phenomenal eye appeal, because everything in the Simpson collection was pretty awesome.
And in coin collecting, the pedigree does play a part on a coin's value, because that lineage or that heritage or that pedigree.
Correct.
Like if you have something from King Farouk, for example, that will make a big deal as well.
And you know, like we were talking about earlier, coin collectors are romantics. There's a bit of romanticism in this whole hobby. We like to know who had the coin before.
It's
the stories it could tell. Exactly.
Tell me
stories it could tell. And so in this case, where the coins didn't necessarily circulate, but they were bought by, let's say, wealthy individuals or prestigious families, or given to important families at the time, you start to wonder, you know, who held this? Did the president hold this? Was it given to someone important, you know, at the time? It's part of the romance that makes the history of these coins so exciting. But the mintage is definitely what drives the price. That, along with just sheer beauty. Like when you see old proof like this in deep Cameo, you know, beautiful frosty surfaces floating atop, you know, black golden fields. Like it's something to see. Even for 2.5s, most of the times you're talking a couple hundred, you know, at most.
Yeah.
It's really, proof gold is incredibly difficult to find. You know, like all proof gold pre-1933, it's extremely rare. These have a mintage of 122 and 150 respectively. So not a lot of coins out there to be had. And then even if you go and get gold dollars, the most those ever had was about 1700 mintage. So proof gold is definitely the caviar of U.S. numismatics, incredibly gorgeous and incredibly scarce.
Definitely a lot of treasure, if you will, up top, but I didn't want to end it on just these 5 pieces, Larry. We were looking at these, and I think you and I both agreed, when it comes to treasure, one would argue that these are actually treasure finds.
Rob has actually found real treasure.
Yeah, these are real treasure. And I'll go quickly, and I'm not going to tell the story because you can Google it.
Yeah.
And I can even put an article or a link to that.
There's been documentaries about both of these.
Documentaries, yeah. The Saddle Ridge Hoard, that California couple walking their dog on their property.
Correct.
And they found some buried cans of gold coins.
I think they found up to 7 cans full of 20s and 10s and mostly 20s. And, we're seeing a lot of different types and super high grades. I mean, this is a 92S, or I believe here.
Yeah.
And it is in gem mint state, and it's actually a gem. It's beautiful luster. It has frost and surfaces that are so original. Because, again, it just went from the bank, basically, to that can. It was underground the whole time. And, one thing that might be, I think some collectors might not understand, is gold doesn't really react the same way that silver or copper especially would react if it was buried or underwater.
I'll tell you what, though, I'll definitely react with this gold when I see it. I mean, there's no way you can't react. Look at this thing. It's beautiful. And what's funny is you have to speculate. From the bank to a can buried, how did it get there? Well, there's a lot of romance in that as well. There is. I mean, think about that. We don't know. They don't know. Nothing has been proven. But why was it buried in cans in the hills of California?
I always liked the theory regarding a bank robbery that happened around that time that they couldn't find. But like you said, there's been no one of these theories is strong enough to be proven.
Yeah, so. And you know what? Maybe he was being chased by the lawman and thought, I'm going to bury it right here. I'll come back to it. And he met his demise, or her demise, I guess. And
it just stayed there unknown. And that seems very plausible. But again, that could be apocryphal as well.
And
we don't know.
That's me. That's me. I remember reading this story, seeing online, and I thought, this is the treasure hunter's dream. And for those that are into treasure hunting, one would argue anytime you can find gold recovered from a shipwreck, how cool is that? And look at this, under the ocean. And look what it looks like.
Beautiful. It looks like a time capsule for it. It kept it, unmolested and with beautiful surfaces and great luster. And so the majority of Type 120s you're going to see in mint state.
Type 120. And I know you pointed this out, and my viewers probably do know, but Type 1, you don't have the motto on it like we do later on.
Correct. And so before this shipwreck, they were almost unobtainably difficult in mint state. And now, luckily, thanks to the shipwreck, we found a time capsule with some in it, and they are more affordable than they would have been otherwise.
We wanted to include these mainly because they are true treasure finds.
They are.
But also, even though the proof pieces might be worth more because of their rarities, one would argue if you weren't going to be able to afford a proof piece, just grabbing one of these well-preserved, beautiful gold coins would be something that you would want to grab in this, especially in this grade. And Larry, like you said earlier, gold does not react with the environment as much. And look at whether it was at the bottom of the sea or buried in aluminum or tin cans, whatever they were, in the ground. Look how nice they came back after some preservation, I would imagine.
Yeah, I think they cleaned the dirt off and other things on there. And obviously, there is some copper in these coins, as you know.
Yeah, what is it, 10% copper?
Yes, sir. And so if that copper was improperly leached to the surface or something, then you might see a gold coin that reacts or tones. But, how often have you seen a rainbow toned piece of gold?
Yeah.
Very rarely.
Yeah, very rarely. Anyway, true gems. Wanted to show you guys over $1 million just up here. But for, I guess, for the romance of it, wanted to show some true treasure finds with the other gold up top. Larry, Stacks Bowers Galleries, once again, I appreciate it, brother. Well, that's going to wrap it up for today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed just looking through them. I left a lot of that talk between Larry and I in there thinking that you guys might enjoy that as well. Hopefully you did. Again, if you are interested, please check out the links to Stacks Bowers Galleries. I will have their channel down below, as well as an end screen to check out up here. If you guys enjoyed it, please give me that thumbs up. And as always, everyone, happy hunting, and thanks for watching.